Rebecca has successfully completed her internship at a small-town morgue and is about to start working there full-time, unaware that this place is anything but ordinary. Her boss clearly knows more than he lets on, but Rebecca won't understand what's wrong until her first night shift alone. It turns out the building is crawling with evil entities that possess the corpses, and her job is not only to prepare the dead for burial, but also to exorcise the demons from their bodies. The Shudder logo at the beginning of a film usually signals a certain level of quality. The platform tends to select unusual, stylish, and solid horror and thriller titles for its originals. Formally, the Mortuary Assistant fits that description, but in this case, the sum of its interesting parts never quite comes together. It's a film that's more engaging to analyze and discuss than to actually watch. The movie is based on the 2022 indie game of the same name by developer Brian Clark. In it, the protagonist, a young morgue worker named Rebecca, spends the night on shift with one of the bodies possessed by a demon. The player's task is to identify the possessed corpse and destroy it through a specific ritual, all while processing and embalming the bodies that are not infected. In the film adaptation, that core mechanic, finding the demon, is gone. The entity is always present, manifesting whenever and however it pleases. It's easy to see why this change was made. It's one thing to figure out the possessed body yourself, and quite another to watch someone else do it. But the filmmakers never come up with a satisfying replacement for that narrative engine, and that's a real shame. Rebecca simply wanders through dimly lit corridors, prepares corpses, reacts to demonic occurrences, and talks to her boss, who dumps heavy chunks of lore on her in dense monologues. Even though we've already seen films like The Autopsy of Jane Doe and The Last Shift, which are very similar in premise, there's still something fresh here. But is it actually gripping? Unfortunately, the answer isn't so clear-cut. There's movement, but no real development. And that becomes obvious with a simple test. If you can remove a scene without affecting the main plot, you have a problem. And the Mortuary Assistant has a big one because it barely has a plot at all. It plays like an extended exposition, a drawn-out introduction built as a chain of interchangeable scenes. Rebecca is either being frightened by reanimating corpses or thrown back into her past, forced to relive unresolved trauma. So what might have attracted Shudder to this project, aside from the brand recognition of the original game? Likely the way it fits into the modern trend of double-layered horror, where demonic possession serves as a metaphor for addiction. Something that, once it takes root in your body, never fully goes away but can be kept under control. The demon here torments the heroine with fear and painful memories, urging her to let it in, which reads clearly as a metaphor for the urge to escape, to numb pain through drugs or alcohol. It's a compelling idea, but not enough to build an entire film around. You open the hidden door only to find a dusty closet behind it. The film does have its strengths. Willa Holland is fully committed in the lead role, and Paul Sparks brings intrigue as her enigmatic boss. The cinematography features striking macro shots, and the makeup work is impressive, lending the embalming process a stark sense of realism. But these are just that, individual strengths, interesting and well-executed pieces. Like body parts that never quite come together into a complete human being, only a rough approximation of one.